6:01.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Everybody's there? Okay. I'd like to call the regular town board meeting of November 18th, 2025 to order. Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence to remember those who served our country in the past and for those who continue to protect our country today. Thank you. Please note the emergency exits, so the door you came in and the door is at the end of the hallway and also behind us. Okay. At this time, I'm going to invite Danny Plastini, our Recreation Director, to come up and give a report.
Hi, everybody. How was everyone today? I would like to take a minute to address the Veterans Day ceremonies that were canceled. So unfortunately, the first event was scheduled for November 9th, and it was canceled due to the weather. There was rain and wind expected, and there was a decision to postpone it to 11/16, which was this past Sunday. Unfortunately, I was traveling on the 15th of November, and due to the government shutdown, I was unsure whether I was going to make it back into town before the event. And also, I was pretty sick and under the weather, so I wasn't sure if I could attend the event, so we decided to cancel it. By no means was I or anyone in the town disrespecting veterans. Veterans are very near and dear to my heart, and to hear otherwise on social media that I or anyone from the town was disrespecting veterans is very disheartening to myself. We in fact had a lovely ceremony last year for our veterans. We had a resident veteran lay a wreath at our ceremony, and it was a lovely day at Remembrance Park. The current town board and myself have worked hard over the past few years to make Remembrance Park what it is today, a place to remember our veterans. That being said, the town, in conjunction with the Recreation Department, has worked with Wreaths Across America to bring it to the Beekman Cemetery, where there is over 100 veterans buried. We currently have 47 wreaths and are seeking additional sponsors. The date for the ceremony for Wreaths Across America is Saturday, December 13th at noon. Prior to the cemetery ceremony, we will have a wreath-laying ceremony at Remembrance Park for each branch of the military. We are seeking additional wreath donations. Each donation is $17. It's specifically just for the wreath. We're not making money off it. The money gets all done through Wreaths Across America directly. We are also seeking volunteers for this day. If you have the time and you would like to join us in placing wreaths and giving thanks to our veterans, please email me. My email is recdirector@townofbeekmanny.us. Thank you for your time, and I do have flyers and information. You can scan the QR code for the Wreaths Across America. Thank you.
You want to leave them on the back table?
Yes.
That'd be great, Danny. Thank you for coming in under the weather. I appreciate it. And thank you for all of your efforts. I appreciate that. And now we have Tom Carey, our financial consultant, and he's going to do a budget presentation for us.
Good evening.
For the town board.
The two things I want to comment on. On your agenda tonight, you have a debt policy adoption. This is the last of the policies that I'm recommending to the town. We have adopted several during the last few years. This policy, most governments have established with guidelines how much debt that a municipality should incur. So for a local government this size, usually you should not have long-term debt expenditure in your total budget exceeding 10%, and that's what's in this guideline. Okay, so, and it shouldn't be borrowing anything under $100,000. So the limit in here, you only borrow over $100,000, and if at any time the total debt expenditures of the total expenditures exceeds 10%, then the board should address that. That's basically what this policy is. That's on the agenda tonight. As far as the adopted budget tonight, the resolution that you have, I worked with the finance office and the town board to make changes based on the public hearing information. Just remember, when we do the tentative budget, we don't have enough information in August. So that's why there's a 2-month budget process. And it says tentative, okay? That's what happens. So when we do a budget during August, you don't have full information of the financial activity. You don't have indication of what's going to happen to the biggest expenditure the town has during the year is the health insurance for employees. We're not sure what's going to happen to employee union rates. They're undecided right now, so they're going to be negotiated. So we put money away for those purposes. So I'm just going to comment on the changes that were made from the preliminary budget to the budget that you're adopting tonight. Okay? In the expenditures side of the budget, there's a $20,000 reserve in the town board group that usually is an estimate to cover, transfer to cover to the adjustments that are going to be made to staff employees' compensation. This is the usually the exempt employees, not the elected officials. They're already set by the budget. So $20,000 is usually the amount that is incurred based on what the town board that takes office, usually it modifies those expenditures for staff in January. The court budget is exactly what was requested. There's an appropriation, a new appropriation modification to the supervisor's budget for a full-time secretary. We removed the part-time secretary and put the full-time secretary in there. In the financial budget, we increased the budget by $50,000 for a financial advisor, or so be it for a controller or whatever. The town has a controller position created, but you haven't had that position filled for many years. But we added $50,000 back, or $49,000 I think is on that resolution. We increased the budget officer position by $5,000. The legal services budget we think is adequate based on current activity. There was a lot of legal activities in the past, and we believe that budget is adequate. The contingent account, we increased by $50,000. Let me see what's important. In the recreation budget, we modified the budget to include a full-time position, a new position in the office of the recreation. Currently, there's a part-time position. In the parks maintenance, there was a parks manager and a parks worker. Now there is 2 parks workers budget instead of the manager. We budgeted money for the 250th anniversary celebration event. There's a full-time position that was restructured into the zoning and planning departments, removing a part-time position in the safety department. So what we did is basically restructured the budget based on current activities, and it's based on the current staff. If there's any addition to staff, the town board will have to address that. But the budget, in my opinion, is very adequate. This is still keeping the tax rate at what we're proposing, what is it, 1.5?
1.5.
Yeah. We are transferring money. That figure is wrong. That should be 30,000 instead of transferred to the highway department.
On yours or on this?
Yeah, I did a typo there, I guess. It's 30,000. We're transferring 30,000 from the general fund to the highway department to offset the 30,000 in the highway budget for purchase of machinery. So let me see, the highway fund has really not changed. It's the same.
Which number are you saying has to be changed? The
No, I think it's okay.
No, it's on my comments.
Oh, it's on your comments.
Yeah.
Wrong. I was
It's
going
not
to say,
in
it
the
looks like it's
resolution.
right here.
It's here, it's right here, yeah.
The
that's
resolution is
correct.
perfect.
Okay.
I checked this 3 times.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
in my comments.
Okay, that's fine.
So basically, what we're doing is returning money to the tax base by lowering the budget, because what's happening here, what we feel is happening based on mortgage tax activity and sales tax activity and your building department activity, The general fund is self-sustaining. You'll see no taxes being raised in the general fund, where you're using $200,000 of fund balance. And there's enough fund balance in the future to maintain that. So the claims that this town's going to be broke is crazy. I've been in this business for 40 years. This government, this local government is very, very strong. You've had independent audits. You have an increase in your Moody's bond rating. So you have a bond rating agency that watches the town's activity and gives you a review every year. So I think it's a very good budget. And more than likely, the mortgage tax figure, I think, is still conservative. I think the mortgage tax figure will exceed what we have in the budget. There was a question, I believe, one time about the highway department budget, the road improvements. The CHIPS revenues are carried over because they haven't been used, and this has been going on for a couple of years. The money that's been appropriated for the highway paving has not been consumed every year. So what we're doing is we have to carry that money over. And then I made an estimate based on my year's experience with the CHIPS of the new appropriation. The state is not going to reduce the CHIPS funding. So the funding that's in this budget for CHIPS money more than likely might be exceeded. So there's a lot of paving money in there, plus the $200,000 that's being appropriated from the highway fund for paving. So I think the total paving budget is $644,980. This year, we never even met that amount. Hey, do you guys have any questions? I think adopting this budget is a good move.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Tom.
you. Thank you.
We appreciate you coming in and giving us your... Tom has done a tremendous job for the town, putting us on a very sound fiscal foundation. Okay, so let's do public comments on agenda items. Okay, Jason?
Jason Avitan, 20 Gabriel's Path. Tom actually answered a couple of my questions already, so I had most of the items I had, or questions I had about this, referring to the debt management policy. The only issue that still remains is the fact that we had no time to even review this. Like, the agenda was posted at the very last minute. You didn't have a chance to go over it. You were able to go through and skim it and then just kind of get a little bit of a brief overview. For something like this, which specifically states goes into immediate effect at the adoption, which means when you guys obviously vote on it, it's immediately in effect. I mean, I would have thought there would have been at least some time given for people to actually review this. So that's my only comments. I think that should have been posted ahead of time as it's supposed to.
Leonard?
Good evening, everybody. I'm Leonard Tacky, 92 Hillside Road. I would like you, town members, please do not vote for the budget. The reason is because not you hurting the incoming people, but you hurting the residents of Beekman. We live here, we love it here. If you guys are pushing us to move from here, please, by all means, just say, get the hell out of the town. It's not for you. I have a property here for 27 years. And I know this town went through hell. At least 3 times money was stolen. And so you guys know that. So please vote no. I encourage you, I encourage all the residents of Beekman, please stand up and do not let them vote yes for the budget, because this town is going to be bankrupt. And then where are we going to get the money? Do we have to go break the banks and bring the money to the town so we can operate, clean the roads, maintain all the properties what the town has? That's not going to happen because we're all going to go to the jail if we break the bank. And another one from the lady that just stated about the veterans celebration. That's not an excuse. I have a son-in-law serves in military. He can't say to his superior, oh, I'm sorry, it's raining or snowing. I cannot come to fill the duty because he is assigned to protect us. And we need that to honor. That's not excuse because she cannot make it. Too bad. There's thousands of people in town that could have come and do the celebration. Lorraine did a great job before. She could have done it again and everybody else in town. Ma'am, that's not excuse. I'm sorry, I don't know you. I have no idea who you are. But what I heard, I didn't like. My son-in-law did not sign to work only based on the weather. So that's not right. Please consider, do not pass the budget because we're going to be broke. Like I said, we know what other people did in town, where the money went. I'm 27 years. I witnessed at least 2 occasions that the money was stolen. So do we gonna just continue being bankrupt town? I don't know what you guys have personally with the incoming people in town. I don't know, and I don't like to know. I don't like to know. But what should we pay that? Why would I have to pay that? That's my money. For my taxes, everybody's taxes here, all you guys are here sitting in front of me are getting paid somehow because we pay property taxes. That's which affects us. School taxes is district entirely different. Please do not vote to pass that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Kate Blake.
Good evening, Kate Blake, 231 Clap Hill Road. I believe that the word that was used earlier in reference to commentary regarding our budget was crazy. Okay. In 2022, July 12th, 2022, a quorum of the folks who are sitting here with us today on this board approved the Town of Beekman fund balance policy. And for those of you who are unsure of what the fund balance policy contains, it has parameters around how large we can allow our fund balance to grow. The board members all signed off and approved on that. Nevertheless, we proceeded for several years to not adhere to our fund balance policy and allowed that fund balance to grow. I don't disagree with all of the earlier comments. I don't know how much is in the fund balance. I've asked for it, but it's not been provided. But I do assume, based on our opening fund balance at the beginning of this year, that there probably is in excess of, I don't know, at least $1 million in it, I would imagine. So arguably it will carry us through next year. But the concern, and what I think is important, is number one, we're not adhering to our own policies. And number two, when we're looking at implementing policies, another policy that is recommended by the Comptroller's Office is a multi-year financial plan. I don't think we have that policy. And my concern is, in the absence of that policy, what we're going to have is a tax rate for our general fund that goes down to 0 next year. That's fine. We can use fund balance next year. That's okay. We can probably even use some fund balance the year thereafter. But there will come a time where that tax rate is going to have to go back up. Now, thinking of the residents, we don't want people's escrow and other accounts to be seeing whiplash from year to year when we go from a 0% tax rate attributable to the general fund to something else. What would perhaps be more reasonable if we are seeing an excess in fund balance that is in violation of our own internal policy is to perhaps come up with a multi-year financial plan that might reduce that tax rate by a specified period of time over X number of years. That would allow us as residents to experience a tax decrease while proactively managing our fund balance in accordance with the Comptroller's recommendations. So it concerns me that, we use the word crazy and just brush off feedback when I think that the feedback has not been addressed. I didn't hear anything about that in those comments. And while I do have the time, I will also say, the budget adjustments tonight, are we not robbing Peter to pay Paul? I don't know the details. I have not been privy to those discussions, but a lot of these adjustments are revenue adjustments. Are we going to achieve $30,000 in additional sales tax next year that's now baked into our budget?
It's 3 minutes, Kate, thank you. Gina? No? Bill? Frank?
Bill Crane, 254 Gardner Hollow Road. I just saw the agenda this afternoon, and I saw that there's a recommendation to put up the fence on Doherty Park, the entrance to Doherty Park. I don't know anything about it. My gut reaction to fences is I don't like them. They say keep out, basically. They're forbidding, and there's no explanation of why we need a fence. I wish ask you to postpone this until we can get a visual of the fence. I read where it goes, but I can't visual it without a drawing of some sort. And the resolution doesn't give a reason for it. Why do we need a fence? I would like the park to be inviting to people. The park is really important. All kinds of kids and families go there. I don't want barricades there. So I'm asking that, and I was trying to look up some poetry that expresses that. I remember in high school, did you read the poem Robert Frost's poem, There's Something That Doesn't Like a Wall, a poem about a wall. It wasn't a fence, a wall. My favorite lines of poetry ever written, I think, were by Woody Guthrie. It's kind of an obscure refrain in This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My Land. He says, I was walking and I saw a sign there, and that sign said no trespassing, but on the other side it didn't say nothing. Now that side was made for you and me. Thank you.
Joe? Barbary?
Good evening. My name is Joe Barbieri. I live on Gabriel's Path. And I'd like to ask the board not to vote on a budget tonight. Let the residents see what it is and get some more information. I looked last night on the website. There was nothing. There wasn't even an agenda posted. Everything's done last minute. No one has a chance to see what it's all about. And it just seems like that's the way we do things around here. It's kind of embarrassing. But I don't see why we have to do things like that. What's the harm in letting the public know? And why can't you guys have a discussion at the board meeting and discuss it so that we can see why you're making these decisions and what your views are, rather than just 4 people following what one person tells them to do? Because you always vote together. It's like no one has a mind of their own. And as far as the Veterans Day, Danny, I want to thank you for at least coming and explaining, but I'm a veteran. I did not serve in combat. I did serve on the North Korean border in December, 8 degrees, and I lived in a tent for 3 months. It was cold. It rained. That's not a reason to cancel it. No explanation. She came to explain herself. I don't see anybody on the board doing that. And before I'm told that my time is up, your time is up. Good riddance.
So, we're going to...
Good evening. Resolution number 1, amend 2026 preliminary budget and approve the 2026 adopted budget. Whereas the 2026 tentative budget was filed with the town clerk on September 30th, 2025, and presented to the town board on September 30th, 2025. And whereas the town board reviewed, accepted, and filed the 2026 tentative budget as the preliminary budget on October 27th, 2025, and held the public hearing on November 6th, 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that the following amendments are approved to be made to the 2026 preliminary budget, filed and approved as the 2026 adopted budget as follows.
I have a comment in terms of the budget after speaking to the town attorneys. I've received no record of a notice being sent to the Poughkeepsie Journal concerning the public hearing on the Dover Ridge Water and Sewer Fund that's part of the budget from the town clerk that I repeatedly requested. We set this public hearing on October 14th. This budget needs to be passed by the 20th of November, leaving no time to correct this at the moment. But I want everyone to be aware of this issue with full transparency. I will reach out to the county, letting them know if we pass the budget tonight and of this issue, not noticing for the public hearing. The county legislature perhaps can assist us in validating it due to the lack of public hearing and guide us. I'm requesting that we vote on this budget tonight and follow up tomorrow for the legal guidance. The worst case scenario is that the final budget will revert to the preliminary budget if the lack of these notice for the public hearing affects it. So I just wanted the board to notice that prior to voting. Does anyone have town board discussion on the budget?
Yeah, I struggled with this budget for a while, and I tear balance sheets to shreds for a living. And there were moments where I understood it completely and I knew what was happening, and then the next morning I would drink a cup of coffee and I didn't know what was happening. And then the next morning I would have 2 cups of coffee and I understood it thoroughly. We all have those days, right? I submitted a number of questions to the town board and the financial controller, all of which were addressed very thoroughly. You know, there were a number of line items which didn't make sense to me, which now do. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. I've had conversations with the financial control. I've had conversations with the comptroller. I've read the independent audits. The budget is strong. But there are a couple of items that just don't resonate 100% with me at this time. You know, and the lack of full understanding of a few line items and some, you know, insufficient attention. You know, I'm unable to confidently support or vote in favor of this. My vote is not, it's not for opposition's sake, but it's just for a call for just a greater clarity in the entire budgeting process.
Okay, anybody else?
No, didn't get a second.
No, we didn't get a second
Okay.
yet. So we need a second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capillari.
Nay.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
And Supervisor Cavucci.
Thank you. Aye.
Oh, no problem. So I just want to make a comment, just because we're speaking of transparency. So I did make a couple of phone calls today. I had a full plate of agenda items and stuff that I needed to send over to the Poughkeepsie Journal. Did I forget to send it? I did. You know why? And I'm not making excuses. It was an error. It was an honest error. I thought I sent it along with the other ones. I got sidetracked probably by taxes or something else. So yes, I give full responsibility that I did not send it to the Poughkeepsie Journal. So if she wants to make a big deal out of it, that's fine, because in January, she's not here anymore. So anyway, I take full responsibility. I did not send it. It was an error on my part. So I apologize, but it happens, and I'm human, and doing again 3 jobs with 1 person and constantly being interrupted. Not making excuses, just telling you the facts. Continue.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you are
Could you
very
go, Liz?
welcome.
You know, I
Go.
have to tell you, since the 27th, I've repeatedly asked for the documentation.
Mary, you were on vacation.
No.
You didn't even show up for the preliminary budget,
I had
okay?
COVID.
No, you didn't.
Yes, no,
You
I
did not have COVID. You were in Arizona.
Okay,
I'm not going to
just a
argue
second.
with you.
I was
Then
in
you came home from
Arizona.
Arizona,
No,
and then you
I
were
got
supposedly
COVID
sick.
coming
Whatever.
home.
Keep your excuses. I don't care. You're gone in January.
You're so
Bye.
transparent.
I know, I am.
So
Keep
now
going.
we have a budget that we may not be able to
Right.
pass.
So you're going to blame it on me. You're going to blame it on me.
Who am I gonna blame?
Yourself.
It's not me.
Blame it on
Oh, no,
yourself.
You didn't do the notice.
Okay, right,
As
I
you
know, I
You
know.
didn't do the notice. I'm
I know.
taking full responsibility, but you're blaming me.
I know.
Whoa, so dramatic.
I
Go ahead.
know. You are. Goodbye.
Resolution number 2, approve assessor to solicit proposal for townwide reassessment. Whereas the town board has received complaints from residents about the fact that the assessments within the town of Beekman are not 100%. Whereas the town board recognizes that a reassessment of the entire town has not been done since 2008. And whereas the assessments have not been kept at 100%, whereas most towns within Dutchess County are moving toward 100% valuation, now therefore be it resolved that the town of Beekman Town Board does hereby authorize the town assessor to go out for proposals for the purpose of the reassessment of the entire town.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Bettalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Whereas the town of Beekman authorized various capital project funds to make improvements to equipment and facilities, and whereas Gatsby and GAP Best Practices recommends the official closing of capital projects by the governing body, and the following completed capital projects summarizes now should be officially closed with the deposition of unexpected balances approved as follows. Rec Center Park improvements, the project budget was $100,000, final expenses were $71,000, unexpended balance $29,000 returned to the general fund. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Beekman officially approves the closing of the above capital project with the unexpended balances returned to the general fund designated for capital projects use.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Bettalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Resolution number 4, whereas the Government Accounting Standards Board, GASB, recommends in its best practice for local government the Municipal Debt Advisors Commission and the GFOA to establish and adopt a debt management policy, and whereas the town financial consultant has developed a debt management policy formulated for the town of Beekman with the assistance of the financial officials, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman establishes and approves the attached debt management policy, and be it further resolved that the policy is to be in force effective immediately upon this adoption.
I will second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Bettalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Whereas the town board deems it necessary and in the best interest of the residents of the town to install a fence around the perimeter of the island created between the entrance and exit lanes at Dougherty Park, and whereas the proposed fence will define the area between the 2 lanes, and whereas the recreation director solicited quotes from 3 qualified contractors in accordance with the town's procurement policy and received the following quotes: Weatherables, $4,519.68. Home Depot, $11,482.26. Ag Tech, $14,509.81. And whereas after reviewing the quotes and paperwork submitted, the town board feels it is in the best interest to accept the proposal from Weatherables in the amount of $4,519.68. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to act execute the contract with Weatherables not to exceed $4,519.68 and said expense to be charged to the Dougherty Parks Capital Project Fund.
I'll second.
Town board discussion?
So when you come into the park and you go to the right
Right.
and you come out on the left, right? Remember that old saying, the door on the right is the one to go in, come out of the left, you're as neat as a pin? Right? It's paved now and looks really good. This fence is going in the middle
Around it, yeah,
where normally folks will park their cars.
Illegally. And we've had damage done to cars
Yeah.
because they go and park in stumps that the town has had to cover, so.
Got it.
We should thank the Highway Department for all of their help yesterday over at the Dougherty Park. Just saying.
Roll call vote?
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Badalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Resolution 6, whereas the retiree town health insurance coverage is due to expire December 31st, 2025, and whereas the supervisor has obtained proposals of insurance for calendar year 2026, which includes a 16.8% increase in rates. Whereas the town board has had time to review the attached proposals, now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to sign the renewal for the town's group medical advantage plan with CDPHP, health insurance for retirees as per the attached.
I'll second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Badalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Resolution 7, adjust November 6, 2025 payment of claims. Whereas by Resolution 11/18/25-6, the town board approved the payment of claims, and whereas a friendly amendment was made and seconded to modify the total to $43,544.80, and whereas the payment of claims was approved with that total, whereas that after review by the bookkeeper, the A General Fund should have been $30,364.87 and not $30,368.87, and the total should remain at $43,540.80. Now therefore be resolved that the payment is hereby authorized as follows. Claims to be paid from the A General Fund, $30,364.87. Claims to be paid from the DA Highway Fund, $8,187.13. Claims to be paid from the SS Dover Ridge Sewer, $3,532.50. Claims to be paid from the SW Dover Ridge Water, $936.30. Claims to be paid from the T Trust Fund, $100. Claims to be paid from the H Capital Fund, $420, for a total of $43,540.80. 11/6/2025 payroll number 23, out of the general fund, $37,422.26. Out of the highway fund, $26,463.71, for a total of $63,885.97.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote?
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Badalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Whereas the bookkeeper has audited and approved claims pursuant to Section 119 of Town Law as set forth in the attached abstracts, be it resolved that the payment therefore is hereby authorized as follows. Claims to be paid from the A General Fund, $46,115.27. Claims to be paid from the DA Highway Fund, $100,708.35. Claims to be paid from the SS Dover Ridge Sewer, $1,266.64. Claims to be paid from this SW Dover Ridge Water, $586. Claims to be paid from the T Trust Fund, $5,963.91. Claims to be paid from the H Capital Fund, $5,994.98, for a total of $160,635.15.
Go ahead.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Roll, discussion? Roll call vote?
Councilman Capelari.
I didn't have a chance to review all of the items, so I'm going to abstain from this vote.
Councilman Badalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Andrea, it's your turn.
Andrea Morse, lived in the town 69 years, 26 Baker Road. In reference to the veterans, sorry that you were sick, but Lorraine, if you did it last year, I don't understand why you couldn't help her pick up the pieces this year.
Nobody said I did it last year. They don't include me in the veterans. They don't include me in the veterans, so that's up to
Well, you're a
them.
public volunteer, or a public servant.
No, I'm not.
I don't understand this, because I volunteer. My son served, my father, I'm born and raised in this town, my father was a World War II veteran. I would have done it. Evelyn Hetty had the stone out there engraved with all the town board, not this board, years ago. I fought to get their names off. If anybody's name's going to be on there, it's going to be my father, not public officials who do not serve. So the veterans are very close to my heart. My son is serving right now. He has seen combat. So I would have volunteered if I would have known about it.
But you're looking
I would have
at-
gotten a committee together
But you're
to
looking at me,
volunteer
Valerie.
to
I
have
don't
done
have,
this.
whatever,
Excuse me.
Andrea, I don't
She
have
gets her
anything to
3
do with it.
I get
though.
3 minutes.
It's her 3 minutes.
I understand, but you're
Stop
just, I want to
interrupting her.
let you know that I don't have anything to do with it. It has nothing, I do not
Some
do
gentleman
it.
said something about how,
Okay,
thank you for
well, you
last
could
year.
ask Danny and you can ask Heather. I don't handle that. I handle Memorial Day only. I'm not involved in the Veterans Day.
Okay, well, whoever did it,
You
they
can
could have
speak
a
to the
volunteer
supervisor.
committee that would help volunteer.
And I agree with you.
would gladly help
Andrea,
volunteer
no-
free of charge.
And I agree with you. I think you
To
should.
do it.
And you
Andrea,
should, but you should speak to
Danny
Mary.
has done a tremendous job with Remembrance Park. It's part 9/11, and then...
It's beautiful. Gregory helped over there.
So she has, you know, when you talked about the rock with the stone, we've got one monument for World War II residents who went from the town to serve in World War II. It's a beautiful monument with all their names engraved. We have a Gold Star family monument, that was our latest, and then we have monuments to all of the branches, with the exception of the
Space Force.
space. So we have to.
Well, that's
get-
new.
I know. and we have
That's
to- we
our
have to
Trump,
get that
President
one.
Trump, they call it.
But Danny took the lead on that, and did a tremendous job putting that park together. I don't know if anyone's gone, because I'm going to be honest, for a lot of the things that happen, not a lot of people come out. It's 9/11, not a lot of people come out for these really important things that Danny does do over there. So I suggest, since people are, you know, interested in it, that for next year, I think Danny would really appreciate a big turnout, because sometimes it's just a handful of people who come. So it is very important, and because Danny and this town board thought it was very important, we've made a whole park for veterans. And Danny took the lead, this Wreaths Across America. I think everybody's heard about that project.
Yes.
Everyone does it, it's wonderful. I didn't realize we had 100 veterans in this
I did
little
not either.
cemetery over here.
That was nice information.
Right, so Danny has taken the lead in that, and it's part of our 250th celebration. She's made a tremendous effort in terms of the 250th celebration of what she's doing. And for December, you know, as opposed to focusing on Santa, this is what we opted to focus on. The veterans, and this was planned, you know, I don't know, what do you think, 2 months ago? When did you get all the information for this? At least 2 months ago?
Started in October.
Okay, so this is something that we thought was really important at the holidays to remember our veterans. And so we're having the wreaths laid out, and we're also doing for living veterans over here at the same time, 2 services.
Okay. And the next thing is, I thank you for the budget. My taxes aren't going up, so I can still live here as a senior citizen on a fixed budget. So thank you.
You're welcome, Andrea. Bill Crane? Oh, Heather? Did you have your hand up?
Mary, I signed up too, so make sure that you remember that my name's
I
on there.
can read your name.
I know you can read. Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
wasn't here last time, I wanted to just offer my own congratulations to the people who won an election and also to congratulate those who ran and didn't win for strengthening the democratic process and those who've been here so long serving the town. I'm handing out a picture of trees cut down on outside one of the home residences or whatever on Route 55. Route 55 that's like our front lawn, the town's front lawn. That's what people see most often, and here, just trees demolished and demolished there. It just increased. It just, to me, it's just ugly, and we need some changes in our so that we can preserve and enhance the beauty of what we expose to the other people, visitors and other people, and to protect the trees. I want to say quickly that we should be protecting every older tree we can. Older trees are precious in the fight against global warming. They absorb carbon dioxide, keeping it out of the atmosphere. Every time we cut down a tree, we release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Instead of doing our part to combat global warming, we contribute to it. If we protect trees, it will offer young people reassurance. A 2024 survey by some excellent researchers published in the prestigious Lancet journal found that 58% of Americans between 16 and 25 are very or extremely worried about global warming. Half said that climate change made them hesitant to have children. A third said that it was causing them mental health problems. Many felt betrayed, over half felt betrayed by our government for not doing enough. Esteemed scientists have said that they were right, it's an urgent matter. Many estimate that we have maybe 3 years before we're going to see the rising floods, rising seas, wildfires, heat waves, species losses like we've never seen before. When the Swedish girl, Greta Thunberg, says, you know, a house is on fire and people are doing nothing about it, she actually could be right. And if she is right, what are we doing sitting around? So we can't do everything. The rainforests are the major thing. The only thing we can do there is make dietary choices that don't support the ranches that are clearing acres and acres every minute of land for cattle. But we can do our part here. Who knows, maybe we'll set an example. And if we do our part and try to protect these older trees that are preserving the land and trying to preserve the planet for us, at least we can look in the face of the young people and say, you know, we did our part. We tried.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Lorene?
So I'm Lorene Apatantuono, your town clerk and your supervisor-elect. So I just wanted to make a couple of comments for Veterans Day. Danny, Heather, you do a good job. You do. Every year, it's a great ceremony. I don't agree with canceling it, though, due to weather, and I don't agree with canceling it due to you not feeling well. I'm sorry you're not feeling well, but there's 5 other town board members and a town clerk that would have handled that, and you know I would have handled that. I think it's very important. I'm sorry, I'm speaking. It's my time.
Go right ahead.
Just like it was hers, right?
I'm speaking. It's my time. So anyway, I interrupted you because you had the information wrong, so I was just correcting you. So the difference between Supervisor Gavucci and myself is I care about our veterans. She can sit up here and she can say, let's say a prayer for those and whoever, but Joe got up, said he was a veteran, and not even thank you for your service. So I would like to personally thank you for your service, your son as well, and for all of those who ever served and continue to serve. So what I chose to do, since I am the town clerk and a lot of people come to me and they ask me, I am going to have my own veterans ceremony this Sunday at 3 o'clock. and everybody's included, everybody is entitled, everybody is invited to join us. So 3 o'clock this Sunday, I will have a ceremony to acknowledge our veterans, and it'll be here at Town Hall. And going forward, to answer your question, Andrea, when I'm supervisor next year, things will be different. We will have volunteers from the town who want to volunteer and join and sign up, and everybody will be allowed to do so. So again, Sunday at 3 o'clock, you're all welcome. Thank you. And thank you again for your service.
I just want to make another, since we're doing factual, another difference between her and our managing style is, is that I don't go on social media and attack a town employee, Danny Plastini, relentlessly. I don't attack our town employees who work their butts off for us. That's a difference between me and you. Okay, the next meeting is Tuesday, December 9th, 2025 at 6 p.m.
Only 2 left.
Our thanks to everyone who came. I make a motion to adjourn. Oh, you're all going to enjoy it. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Absolutely.